With your radio?
Well, I just about got it fixed.
Where did you get the parts?
Well, I tell you, I found these old tubes down in the dungeon. That should do it. Now I'll turn it on.
We interrupt this program to bring you a news bulletin. The city of Rome burned last night. Emperor Nero was unavailable for comment. It was rumored he was fiddling at the time. Unidentified sources close to the emperor.
Boy, are those tubes old. I'll turn it on later. Find out who won the daily double in the chariot races.
Puppy, Mom? Has Pop come home yet?
Not yet, dear. Sometimes your father has an awful time flagging down a taxi.
Eddie, this is the third time you've asked. It must be very important.
Eddie, is there something your dear old grandpa can do for you?
No, Grandpa. I've got to talk to Pop.
Hi, everyone.
Hello, dear. Well, I'm glad you're home. Eddie wants to talk to you. He seems to have a problem.
Problem? My son, who has inherited my personality, my good looks, and my talent, has a problem.
Yes, besides the ones you just mentioned.
Very unhumorous, Grandpa. Now, son, what is your little problem?
Well,
Come on, you can tell your old dad.
Could I whisper it to you in private?
Well, whisper it to me in private? Oh, I guess so.
They just fired on Fort Sumter!
Eddie, what on earth happened?
Search me. I just told Pop I wanted a baby brother.
Is it feeling any better, Lily?
Shh. Grandpa, more ice. Herman, you're all tense.
Tense? My nerves are so tight every time I scratch my ear, my leg goes up in the air. Baby brother. Gee.
I have it all figured out why Eddie wants a baby brother. You see, it's only natural for a child to want companionship. Back home, I had a whole mausoleum full of brothers and sisters to play with.
It's just a matter of companionship. I can take care of that. I'll become a pal to my son.
Well, Herman, what about the age difference? Do you think it would work?
Of course it would work. The key to the whole thing is to think as a child. And for me, that comes very easy. I'll show you. I'll show you. In no time at all, Eddie will have forgotten all about wanting to have a baby brother. Ole, ole, out in frame!
Herman is practicing to be a child.
Practicing? It's like Bridget Bardot practicing to be a girl.
It's your old buddy, Pop. Ah, hiya, pal. How are you, old pal, oh, pal, oh, pal, oh, pal? Oh, pal? Well, look what we have here. Your model airplane. Say, I know. I'll be the pilot, and you be the man in the control tower. How about that? Doesn't that sound like neat fun? Huh?
Sure, Pop. If you say so.
Pilot to control tower, pilot to control tower, ready to take off. Ready to take off. Eddie, you're supposed to say Roger, Wilco, and out. Come on, say it.
Roger, Wilco, and out.
Pilot to control tower, pilot to control tower. I'm taking off, I'm taking off.
Now look what you did. You lost it.
No, Eddie, I'm sure it's not lost. Let's go right downstairs and get it.
Gee, now you wrecked my airplane.
But, son, don't you understand? I'm trying to be a buddy to you, a real friend.
If you want to be a friend, would you do just one thing for me?
Anything you say.
Give me a baby brother to play with.
Hi, Herman. Herman.
Oh, hi, Grandpa.
Herman, what's the matter? You look like a zombie.
Oh, thank you. But flattery's not going to cheer me up.
Well, what's wrong?
What's wrong? Eddie's what's wrong. He won't give up. He insists that I get him a baby brother. So I'm just going to have to talk to Lily about it.
Oh, just like that, you're going to talk to Lily about getting a baby brother for Eddie.
Well, I think it's a good idea if I let her in on it, too.
Herman, a situation like this requires delicate handling. Be subtle. Go and get out some of Eddie's baby things. When Lily sees them, she will fondly recall Eddie as a baby. And she will suggest to you about enlarging your family.
Grandpa, you're a thinking man's father-in-law. Just what I'm going to do. I'm going to go up the attic and get out Eddie's baby things. I couldn't find any of Eddie's baby things, so I got my own out instead. But I guess they'll do just as well with Lily. Well. What do you know? My old teething ring. Oh. And my first pair of booties. Oh, and looky. My favorite blocks. Oh. And my baby bonnet. I wonder if it still fits. Oh, and my old rattle. Good, do, boo, boo, boo. Do, boo, boo, do, boo, do, boo, boo, do, boo, boo. Do, boo, boo.
Oh, I was afraid of this. It took 151 years, but it finally happened.
Well, what's that at, Lily?
Herman is in his second childhood.
Why, I didn't think Eddie's airplane hit him that hard on the head.
I'll take care of this. Herman Munster, what are you doing?
What am I doing? Don't you get the picture? Da da gubbo da bo de de gubbo.
I get the picture. I get the picture of you being hauled off to the flaky farm.
That's not the picture at all. I'm just giving you a subtle hint that Eddie wants a new baby brother to play with.
Oh, Herman, let's be logical about this.
All right. Let's be logical.
I can't be logical when you're wearing that stupid bonnet.
Sorry, dear. There.
First of all, Eddie is 9 years old.
I'll go along with that.
If we had a baby now, by the time it was 9 years old, how old would Eddie be?
How old would Eddie be? Well, he'd be about, he'd be almost, there's only one answer, isn't there?
Yes, dear. He'd be 18.
I'll accept that answer.
Now, by the time the new baby was 18, Eddie would be 27 years old. Now, you see how it would be?
Well, you know, you're right. Why would an old man like Eddie want to play with a little kid?
Well, that's not exactly what I meant. But you get the idea.
Wait a minute. Lily, I have the solution.
What?
You and I will have a 9-year-old baby and get a head start on the whole thing.
Herman, you are impossible and childish.
Lily, don't you call me that or I'll hit you with my rattle.
Herman, come here.
Grandpa, your idea did not work. Lily didn't take the hint at all.
I figured you'd goof it up, so I've been working on a solution to your problem. Come on down here.
Shucks, Grandpa. What solution could you have?
Herman, I've solved the problem of what Eddie's going to play with. Sit down. Sit down. I've been down here in the lab all night working on it.
Oh, yeah? What did you come up with? A yo-yo? A beanbag? A pogo stick?
Just sit there. I'll show you. Voila! Boris, say hello to your new daddy.
Why, Grandpa, he's beautiful. Hi, little fella. Grandpa, you are the greatest.
Son-in-law, that's the first thing you've said in years that I agree with.
Aren't you two having fun together?
Oh, isn't it heartwarming to see such a wonderful friendship developing? Having fun, Boris?
It's real neat playing with this construction set. If we lose one of the parts, we can borrow one of Boris's.
Hi, everyone. Daddy's home.
Hi, Uncle Herman.
How's everything down at the parlor, dear?
Not bad. It was my turn to drive the go-go wagon, so I was out in the field most of the day. Certainly was good to get back to a stuffy office. Oh, thank you, Boris. Thank you very much. Sweet little fellow.
Oh, yes. He was such a help around the house today. You know, at lunch, he opened all the tin cans with his teeth.
Oh, good boy.
Well, Marilyn, it's time we thought about getting dinner.
What are we having, dear?
Herman, I heard about a new TV dinner today. How does that sound to you?
Sounds okay. TV dinner. But wouldn't the dials and the tubes be pretty lumpy?
Come on, Marilyn.
Well, son, how are you?
I'm okay, I guess.
Oh, and hi, Grandpa. How are you, old chum, old pal, old buddy, old friend?
You don't have to lay it on, Herman. You can have the comics.
Oh, thank you, Boris. Thank you very much. Well, son, you having fun playing with your new little baby brother?
Yeah, it's real neat.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you. Thank you very much. I must say, you certainly are a very thoughtful and considerate little fella. Good boy. You know, Edward, your new little baby brother certainly is polite.
Yeah, he sure is.
This is a delicious dinner, Aunt Lily.
Well, thank you. I thought Chinese food would be good for a change. More filet of dragon, Grandpa?
Well, thank you. Goes good on a chilly day.
Edward, you haven't eaten one thing on your plate, young man.
I don't feel like eating.
Maybe he doesn't feel well. He isn't green around the gills like he usually is.
Nonsense. Eddie, you clean your plate. Look at Boris. He cleaned everything off his plate like a good little boy. He even ate his spinach. He knows the value of iron in his system. And stop picking at your food. And sit up straight like Boris.
Boris, Boris, Boris! Boris, 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 I don't want to play. I said I don't want to play!
Oh, Eddie, well, that was uncalled for. Now you march upstairs and put your jammies on.
Boy, everybody hates me!
Oh, just for that, you can't take your cold water bottle to bed with you tonight.
Oh, hi, Boris. What? Oh, you want me to read you a bedtime story? Amazing how we understand each other. I guess the old wheels up here are really synchronized. All right, come on. Get up in your old Uncle Hermie's lap. There we go. Now, which one do you want me to read first? Oh, this one. Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Oh, good. That's my favorite one, too. I can hardly wait until they make it into a movie with Doris Day. Once upon a time, right in the middle of the forest, Goldilocks found this great big house, and she decided to go inside. Boy, this is neat, isn't it, Boris? And then the middle-sized bear said, "Who's been sleeping in my bed?" And then the teeny-weeny tiny bear said, "Who's been sleeping in my bed?" And then they all went into the... Poor little Tyke's sound asleep.
That's quite understandable, Herman. He's been pretty wound up all day.
Oh, Herman, Eddie isn't in his room. Oh, I sent him up to bed, but he's not there.
What? Eddie's gone? He can't be. Sorry, Boris, I didn't mean to wake you.
Marilyn even looked in the attic, and he's not hanging from the rafters.
Quick, Grandpa. You go that way. Lily, you go that way, and I'll go this way.
Will you relax? Come with me. Blinder, we just have to go about it the right way.
Oh, Herman, it's your fault. You hurt Eddie's feelings, and now he's run away from home.
But Lily.
Uncle Herman, he's not in the house. I've looked everywhere.
Spot. Spot's the one who can find Eddie. Here, give me Eddie's jacket. Anyone can sniff like a bloodhound, it's Spot. Are you there, Spotty? Oh, good boy. Now, Spotty, here's what I want you to do. I want you to sniff this coat and lead us to Eddie. With a sniffer like that, he can't miss.
You'll find Eddie's Spot. Go fetch.
I think Spot found him. Let's go.
boy. Eddie, what are you doing up in that tree? Come down here this instant.
I won't. I'm gonna stay up here till I croak. Because nobody loves me. Nobody cares.
Oh, Eddie, we all love you. We love you from the bottom of your little hoofs to the top of your little pointed ears.
Eddie, we all love you very much.
But Pop likes Boris better. I saw him reading him stories and stuff.
That's right, I was, son. But I was merely trying to repay a kindness that he did to me. After all, he got my newspapers, my footstool, and I was just trying to be considerate to him in return. That's a lesson I learned years ago in an old Andy Hardy picture. Come, son.
Boy, Pop, I'm sorry I misunderstood you. But you love me, don't you?
Oh, of course he does, Eddie. It's just that sometimes your father is too stupid to show it.
Thank you, Grandpa.
Eddie, your little Betty Bite will feel good. I changed the lining today.
Now Boris is gone. Boris! Boris, wait, Boris. Don't go. Be a good boy. Stay right here.
Oh, he certainly looks like he was serious about running away.
Oh, boy, you ain't kidding. Look at this. He took his oil can and his wrench with him.
Boris, how could you do this to your own family?
How could you leave your happy, happy home?
Oh, you thought that you were responsible for Eddie leaving home.
But you weren't, Boris. It was all my own fault. I was acting like a real dope. Please don't run away. You won't, will you? You know something? You're the greatest playmate a guy could ever have.
Oh, see? He thinks you are one, too.
Dear Mrs. Munster, I want to thank you all for sending me to live with Uncle Garrett and Aunt Mina on their lovely ranch in Death Valley. I'm looking forward to visiting Eddie and all of you on vacations. Signed, your loving robot, Boris. Isn't that a sweet letter?
Yeah, you know, he writes pretty good for a kid I slapped together in a couple of hours.
I guess it was for the best we sent him to our relatives. Especially since the second grade wouldn't accept him without a birth certificate.
Well, someday all those petty prejudices will be gone.
I only hope little Eddie will be happy without his little mechanical brother.
Well, that'll probably take a little time.
Boy, you're a real neat kid. Since I met you, I hardly miss Boris at all.
I like you too, Eddie.
Climb trees and catch bugs and look for caterpillars. Everything.
Yeah, the ickier the better.
Be patient, Hermie. I'll have some more pancakes for you in a minute, Poopsie.
Goody. They're so yummy.
Marilyn, would you like some more pancakes?
Oh, sorry, but I have to run catch my bus. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye, dear.
Bye-bye.
Oh, that's the third time this week she's had to leave without finishing her breakfast.
Hey, Pop! Why don't you guys buy Marilyn a car?
Now, that's a good idea, Eddie. I've saved nearly $25 on sheets and towels by going to the January black sales.
And I could probably scrape up a few dollars by returning those empty bottles to the blood bank.
Doesn't add up to much, does it?
Mm-mm. Ladies and gentlemen, I have an announcement to make. It just so happens that I am getting a bonus. A rather substantial one. And I would be happy to put it into a nice little car for Marilyn.
Oh, Herman, how wonderful of you.
I'll get down and see you about it this afternoon, dear.
You buy a car? Now that would be something.
Now, I am the head of this family, and I am going to buy the car.
Boss, did you get a load of that customer that just walked in?
Must be a circus in town. He's probably on his lunch break from the freak show.
Why don't you unload the convertible on this sucker?
Yeah, that's an idea. Hey, friend! Hello, friend.
Oh, just checking the carburetor.
Oh, well, you'll be interested in this end over here.
The owner must have been a woman. She left her sewing machine in the trunk.
Say, I can tell you know an awful lot about automobiles, my friend.
Oh, thank you.
Now, listen, don't you think that this car is a little too light for you? Huh?
I think you're right. Let's see something a little heavier.
Yeah, let me show you this over here, huh? Now, this is, of course, sporty convertible, but you don't want that. I got another car over here I want to show you.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't I want a sporty convertible?
Well, I don't know. I just thought a man of your type wouldn't want to drive around with his top down.
Oh, I see. You think I'm too level-headed for a car like this? Well, you see, the fact of the matter is, I'm buying this car for my young niece.
What a coincidence. This car belonged to a young niece of an old lady in Pasadena. That's right. She only drove it to the 4-H club meetings once every month.
Oh, well, then it must have had excellent care.
Sure.
But I'd tell you, I'd like to drive it around the block, though, before I buy it.
All right. Why, I got a better idea. Why don't you Buy it first, then you can have pride of ownership when you drive it. Huh? Huh?
But I want to know if the motor is in good running condition.
Oh. Well, I'll turn it off and we'll take a look at it.
Has the motor been on?
Well, yeah.
Why, it's so quiet, I've hardly heard it.
Hardly? You mean you could hear it at all?
Just barely.
I guess I'll have to knock $25 off the price so you can get a new muffler.
How much you want for this car?
Oh, wait a minute. I think I better find out if it's available. Hey, Blinky!
Yeah, boss.
That call from Hollywood. Mr. Grant's business manager come through yet?
Hollywood? Cary Grant?
You said it. I didn't.
Mr. Grant is due in from Europe today, and his manager is sure he wants the car.
Sorry.
Now, wait a minute. This car's on your lot, which means it's for sale, right?
Right, but I already promised it to
And if
someone
I give
else.
you a legitimate offer, you've got to take it, right?
Well,
I'm afraid he's got you, boss.
okay. But you gotta meet the price.
What is it?
$900.
Darn. Darn. I've only got 375.
Tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna let you have the car for $375. On one condition.
What's that?
You gotta promise not to tell Cary Grant.
It's a deal.
Okay, friend.
What Cary doesn't know won't hurt him.
So long, Pally.
So long.
So long. Move 'em out!
Well, Marilyn, what do you think of the new set of wheels? Fair Deal Dan and I practically stole it from Cary Grant.
Oh, Uncle Herman, a convertible.
It looks all right. Start it up.
Started?
Well, I don't think even you would buy a car without a motor in it.
And didn't you drive it here?
Well, it stalled right after I left the lot. It was downhill, so I sort of coasted home.
Start it up, Pop.
Well, it runs.
Herman, I've got to hand it to you. You bought the only car I've ever seen that jumps itself.
Golly. Do you think Fair Deal Dan stuck me?
Stuck you? Herman, you've been shish kebabbed. Now you just take this heap down to your Fair Deal Dan. And Marilyn, you go in the house and get the phone number for the Better Business Bureau.
Yes, Aunt Lily. Come on, Eddie.
Now, Lily, dear, his name is Fair Deal Dan. And if I imply that he gave me a rotten deal, he's liable to go into a tizzy and stamp his foot, call me a poor sport and everything.
Herman, what's the matter? Are you afraid of your own shadow?
No, I'm not. I've seen it lots of times. And it hardly scares me at all. Anymore.
Munster, you take this car right back down to that used car lot. And you demand your money back.
Yes, dear.
Aunt Lily, I brought the number of the Better Business Bureau. It's Klondike 5470.
Thank you, dear. And then you're going to report your fair deal, Dan, to the Better Business Bureau.
Yes, dear.
Come on, Marilyn.
Oh, thank you, Uncle Herman. Now, don't feel bad. You tried.
You tried. So did Napoleon at Waterloo.
Grandpa?
Okay, Herman, I'll go with you. Before you stumble over it, let's see if we can get this thing back together so we can bring it back. Oh.
Add to hot sheet. QD 4625. Repeat. QD 4625. Be on the lookout. This is a stolen car.
But I tell you, Grandpa, this lot was full of used cars this afternoon. And right over there was where they pitched the tent.
Tent? Well, perhaps the Arabs have folded their tent. And as the expression goes, taken it on the lam.
Grandpa, I came down here to demand my money back. And I memorized the Better Business Bureau phone number and everything. Now what do?
What do? What you always do. You go home, sit quietly, while Lily yells at you.
Grandpa, I am sure that our house is due west.
Well, you've tried north, south, and east. This time, I'd say the odds are with you. Herman, you're driving me bats. In another minute, I'm going to fly home on my own.
Listen. There must be a fire. Oh, I know. We'll follow the fire trucks, and if we're lucky, maybe it'll be in our neighborhood.
With your luck, it'll be in our house.
Oh, look at the pretty red light. It's real Christmassy.
What was that?
Oh, a bat. You don't see many of them around here. Must have been attracted by the light. Uh-oh, you better radio for an ambulance. This poor fellow's been in an accident. See what happens when they don't use seat belts?
But, officer, I haven't been in an accident, and I always wear a seatbelt. Eh? Just like they say on television.
This fellow's delirious. May I see your driver's license, please?
Yes, sir.
By George, he hasn't been in an accident, has he?
Not since this was taken, anyway. You'd better get out of the car.
Yes, sir. Come on, Grandpa. Grandpa? Grandpa? Funny. He was here just a minute ago. He didn't fly past you, gentlemen, did he?
We better give this one the balloon.
Balloon? Oh, goody.
All right, come on, buddy, let's go.
Well, that's six you busted. Come on now, try to walk the white line.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. No. It's not what you gentlemen think. It's just that looking down from great heights makes me very dizzy.
All right, fella, you're coming into the station with us.
But I can't go with you gentlemen. I've missed half of my 3 sons already.
Buddy, we're taking you in on account of your car.
What about my car?
It's on the hot sheet. It's a stolen car. All right, come along.
I can't bear to think of my poor baby doll behind bars.
Dear, I just feel as though it's all my fault.
Now, Marilyn, don't blame yourself. Your Uncle Herman is a born loser.
Grandpa, you know that Herman is a kind, trusting soul with a great faith in his fellow human being.
You know a better way to be a loser?
But Uncle Herman in jail.
Oh, dear. Oh, I hope his boss down at the parlor doesn't find out about this.
Do you think they'll fire him?
At the very least, he'll be taken out of transportation and put on inside work. Just when he'd worked himself up to the front right handle.
If I only knew what jail they'd taken Uncle Herman to.
It's this waiting around that's so terrible.
Now, Lily, don't fret. Herman will be calling in any minute now. Down at the jail, they allow them 1 phone call before they put the bums on ice. And Herman ought to be able to call home without goofing it up.
You want a bet?
You're permitted 1 call, but 1 call only.
Yes, I know. You told me that. It's very kind of you advancing me the money.
We've got to. It's the law. But just 1 call, and then into the tank you go.
Please, I'm very nervous. Now, let's see, what's my number? Oh, yes.
This is a recording. The Better Business Bureau is closed for the day. Please call back in the morning. Thank you.
Say, listen, about this tank. I didn't bring a pair of trunks. Can I rent a pair?
Drinking night and day for over 20 years.
What's so different about that?
Well, I ain't never even seen a pink elephant.
How about a purple pussycat?
Never.
How about a red rhinoceros?
Never. I have yet to see any of these strange creatures that annoy you average drunks.
Hi. Oh, how nice. I got here just in time for exercise period.
Here's your change, and here's your receipt for the $20 bill, ma'am.
Thank you, Sergeant. Oh, by the way, when my husband comes out, please don't let him know that his bail was only $20. He's very sensitive and, well, he might feel slighted.
Well, you've got the money, chum. When can we have the body?
Keep your shirt on. The prisoner has to be processed. So you'll just have to wait.
But, Sergeant, I mean, you will hurry, won't you? Now, we don't like to keep my uncle out late on weeknights.
Oh, that's your uncle in there, is it, sister?
Yes, Sergeant.
Well, you just wait a minute, little lady. Spangler? Yes, Sarge. Bring that Munster. Yes, sir.
Grandpa, isn't it wonderful the way Marilyn's handicap brings out the natural sweetness in people?
Here's another fish for the tank, Sergeant. He's got a roll on him big enough to choke Seabiscuit.
Hey, buddy boy.
Where'd you get it, brother? Rob a bank?
I refuse to answer until I am informed of my constitutional rights.
Send him down.
Those things over there that aren't there. Tell them to get away.
Grandpa, isn't it awful that Marilyn has to see the ugly side of life like this?
Well, just have to learn to take the good with the bad.
So worried about you. It must have been terrible in there.
Oh, now, Lily. Actually, it was rather pleasant in the tank. The fellas took their exercises, and then they just lay down on the floor and went to sleep.
Let's get out of here. This is one of those places I just hate to get caught dead in.
Bye, officers. Nighty-night. Oh, say, there's Fair Deal Dan. I'd hate myself if I didn't say goodbye to him.
Oh, not two of them. Oh, don't let them get me. I confess.
You confess?
I stole the car. I sold it to him. To them. I got my rights on it. So get me out of here. Get me away from him. Get me out of here.
There are a lot of interesting people here. You know, this is a nice place to visit, but I wouldn't want to live here. Well, I did it. I put the bonus money in Eddie's college account.
Well, that's nice. You certainly got back from the bank quickly. I thought it would be crowded.
Well, it was when I went in. But within a minute, all the people were gone. You know, it's a funny thing. I've never kept waiting in line.
You are clever that way. You have a knack for going into a place just when there's a lull in business.
Lily's right, Herman. You know, that and being stupid are the two things you do best.
I think it was awfully nice of Marilyn to suggest that we save that money for Eddie.
Yes, she didn't seem very disappointed about not getting the car.
Well, it seems she's worked out her transportation problem to and from school. She's in some kind of carpool.
Lily, I know I'm an old duffer from Transylvania, but could you explain to me how someone can be in the carpool without having a car?
Grandpa, these youngsters nowadays are so clever. What's that?
Why, it's Marilyn. What's happened to Marilyn's carpool?
Herman, don't be a dope all your life. That is her carpool.
Isn't closed. I sent your father for 2 more ingredients so I could finish this before dinner.
Boy, Mom, you sure have a lot of recipes here. Caesar salad, beef stroganoff, Napoleon brandy, Bloody Mary.
Yes, Eddie. And at one time or another, they were all friends of the family. Now, this recipe was invented by one of Grandpa's favorite people.
No fool! What's Mom making making, Grandpa?
Devil's food cake.
I wish Herman would get back, but it's such a lovely day, and he insisted on walking.
Come on, let's have a little action here. Oh, look what I've done.
Dear, I've disfigured him for life. Oh, you poor man. I'll go get an ambulance.
Madam? Madam, I'm terribly sorry about you. Madam? Uh-oh. I'll bet she went for the police. Before I get in any more trouble, I better go right home and phone my insurance company like a good citizen. Walk, 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 walk. You're the cause of all this, you dumb old signpost.
Herman, you've hardly eaten a thing.
Well, I'm still worried about that accident. I think you should have let me report it to our insurance company.
Do you really think it was your fault, Uncle Herman?
Sure, it was my fault. Technically, I was walking across the street against the light. I should have looked both ways before stepping off the curb. I shouldn't have stopped in the middle of the street, and I ruined the lady's car. Technically, I'm guilty on 4 different counts.
Cheer up, Pop. Mom made some neat devil's food cake.
Huh.
Yes, and Grandpa, you cut it first so we can see how it turned out.
Herman Munsters, 1313 Mockingbird Lane. You say you found this at the scene of the accident?
That's right, Wilbur. It was lying in the street. But the man I'd hit had disappeared. He must have gone berserk or something because the traffic lights had been ripped right out of the ground.
Marge, we don't know what kind of a screwball we're dealing with. A hothead like this could turn around and sue us for everything we've got. Claim mental damage on top of everything else.
Oh, I'm afraid you're right, Wilbur. A court would probably award him $20,000 on just what I did to his face alone.
Well, calm down, dear. I'll have our lawyer, Ted Thatcher, head this Munster up, offer him $10,000 to keep him from going to court.
Well, I just hope he goes for it.
Listen, Marge, you can't be any more of a stubborn weirdo than your mother. We got her to move to Alaska for $8,000.
11 a.m. Mail's here. Arr, arr.
Well, just don't don't announce the mail, stupid. What did you do with it?
Silly bird. When is he going to stop picking that mailman's bag?
Nevermore. Nevermore.
Mr. Herman Munster. Dear sir, as attorney for Mrs. Wilbur Kingsley, I am writing on her behalf regarding the recent traffic accident in which you and she were involved. To prevent serious court action and damages, I strongly urge immediate cash settlement in the amount of $10,000.
How much?
Wow. 10,000. Wowee.
Oh, no, Lily. That woman must have traced the accident to me, and now her lawyer wants me to pay her $10,000. What'll I do?
Herman, stop that. How do you expect me to think when you're making all that noise?
Where will I get $10,000? This is terrible, terrible, terrible. If I had a gun, I'd shoot myself.
Wilbur, I'm really getting worried. Our lawyer offered those Munsters a $10,000 settlement 3 days ago. They haven't even answered his letter.
I know, dear. I talked to Thatcher this morning. He's going to make a personal visit to these people and try and size up the situation.
Do you think he'll get anywhere?
Listen, Thatcher settled longshoremen's strikes, dispossessed widows and orphans, and appeared before Senate investigating committees. After frightening experiences like that, he's not going to be bothered by a plain, average family like the Munsters.
That's a good boy, Eddie. You polish Spotty's scales so you can see your face in them.
Okay, Mom. Spot likes that. Don't you, Spot? Hey, Mom. Today is Saturday. How come Pop had to go to work today?
Well, Mr. Gateman is thinking of adding a new wing onto the parlor to take care of the overflow. And your father went over to talk to the builder to get an estimate. That is one business where you cannot keep your customers waiting. I think there's someone at the door. Eddie, would you answer it, please?
Okay, Mom.
Oh, hello, little boy. I think. I am Theodore Thatcher, an attorney. I am investigating an accident case involving a Mr. Herman Munster.
Oh, yes. He's my pop. Won't you come in?
Thank you. Well, you dressed up for a school play or something?
Heck no. This is my regular suit. It's the only one I've got.
Oh.
Come right this way.
Oh, thank you.
Sit right here.
Oh, thank you.
Sorry, that happens all the time. Hey, Mom! Hey, Mom!
Mr. Thatcher? I'm Lily Munster. Oh, pardon my appearance, but I've been fixing supper.
Oh, that's quite all right.
We're having curried lizard casserole, and you know what a mess that can be.
You were forced to eat lizard?
Well, it was either that or pickled frog's ears, and my husband insisted on lizard. Sit down, won't you?
Thank you.
My son said that you're investigating Mr. Munster's accident.
This is just an informal visit. Is your husband at home? I've been looking forward to meeting him face to face.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry, but he's down at the mortuary getting an estimate.
Oh. Getting an estimate at the mortuary?
Yes. It's always wise to be prepared for any eventuality.
Oh, I'm sorry, Lily. I didn't know you had company.
This gentleman is investigating Herman's accident. Mr. Thatcher, my father.
How do you do? By the way, sir, did you and your son-in-law discuss the letter I sent him last week?
We certainly did.
And what was his reaction to our settlement figure of $10,000?
Not a chance, Buster.
That's right, sir. An amount like that is absolutely out of the question.
Well, if you'll excuse me now, I'm on my way down in the basement.
Oh, Grandpa, what do you have in the bag?
Oh, just some moldy bread I got out of the kitchen. I'm going down to the lab and whip up a batch of penicillin.
He makes his own penicillin?
You never know in a family like this when somebody is liable to come down with a sore throat.
Mrs. Munster, I think I've found out all I need to know. By the way, before I go, could I use your telephone to call my client?
Why, of course. It's right out here in the hall.
Thank you.
There you are. Oh, and would you mind letting yourself out? I really must get back to my lizard casserole.
Hello, Wilbur. This is Ted. This house looks like Tobacco Road. You should see this family. The kid only has one suit to his name, and all they can afford to eat is lizard. Their grandfather makes his own penicillin. Look, if this bunch ever shows up in court, they'll break a jury's heart for at least $100,000. Now, I think we ought to double our original settlement offer. This Munster character must be hurt much worse than we thought, because he's down at the mortuary now getting an estimate. He's so sure he's gonna die, he has his coffin set up in the hallway. What? Sure, I'm sure. Where do you think I'm telephoning from? Wait a minute. What is this? Wait a minute.
Oh, there you are, Marilyn. I was catching a little bat nap down in the lab, and I must have slept for 3 hours. Where's everybody?
Oh, Grandpa, that telegram came from the lawyer, and Aunt Lily was so upset that she stormed right out.
Telegram. Please ignore previous letter. In behalf of my client, recent accident case, now raising settlement figure to $20,000. $20,000? Why, 10 was bad enough.
I know. And Aunt Lily said we couldn't possibly raise that much. So she went over to see the lady that hit Uncle Herman and throw herself on her mercy. She's been gone over an hour.
Oh, boy. And where is the poor innocent victim?
Uncle Herman came home a few minutes ago. He took one look at that telegram, the green completely drained out of his face. He ran up to his room and hid in the closet.
Problems. Sometimes I wish I was back in the old country, where my biggest worry was who to put the bite on for 3 square meals a day.
Mrs. Munster, I'm so glad you came to see me. It's obvious it's been a terrible misunderstanding.
Misunderstanding?
Why, yes. We were offering to pay you a settlement, not the other way around.
Pay us?
Yes, of course. When I realized I'd injured the poor man, well, we were afraid he'd sue us for everything we own.
Mrs. Kingsley, well, you have no idea what a relief this is. You pay us.
Then you'll accept a settlement?
I certainly will. Would $1.75 to get my husband's suit cleaned be asking too much?
Well, not at all. Oh, there you are.
Herman, it's me. I have good news for you. Grandpa, it's locked. Do you suppose he's in there?
Lily, allow me.
Grandpa, he's gone.
What?
Look. Oh, look. I think he's run away. Oh, look, there's a note.
A note?
A note. What's it say?
Goodbye forever. I can never raise $20,000, so I'm doing the noble thing by running away like a rotten coward.
P.S. If someday my miserable bones are washed up on a desert island, do not bother to claim them, as they will not be worth the parcel post charges. Signed, Herman Munster, Rat Fink. Oh, Grandpa, he's run away and it's all a mistake. Where, oh, where could my poopsie be?
New man?
Yes, sir.
You look rugged enough. Can you lift one of those steel ingots there? They weigh 300 pounds.
I can lift them all.
It's amazing. Okay, you can put them down now. Okay, get out of here. Now beat it. Out. Go on, get out of here.
But, sir.
Get lost, big stiff. Go on, get out of here.
But, sir, I was trying.
Everybody, please. It's over here, folks. Try your luck. Hit the clown. 3 balls, 25 cents. Everybody, please. It's right over here, folks. Now you can't do anything. Step up and try your luck. Hit the clown, you win a prize.
So you got yourself a new clown.
Yeah.
Wow, this one's the wildest looking yet.
When he walked in here wearing that crazy makeup, I hired him on the spot. Give it to him good.
Grandpa, we've got to locate Herman. What's wrong with that crystal ball anyway?
I don't know. All I keep picking up are the reruns of Molly Goldberg from Tel Aviv.
Just the fine-tuning or something.
Look! It's Herman! It's Herman! Look! There he is!
Oh, look, Grandpa. He's gone and joined the Foreign Legion.
Please, don't worry. We'll track Herman down with my super heterodyne and transistorize the binding rod.
But, Grandpa, Herman could be anywhere in this world.
Lily, please, wait till I adjust the direction finder. There.
Did you set it at Foreign Legion?
No, I set it for my head. That should lead us to my stupid son-in-law like a guided missile.
Marilyn, Mom and Grandpa have been gone for 2 days now trying to track down Pop. They haven't brought him home yet.
Oh, now don't you worry, Eddie. I'm sure that wherever he is, he's just as safe and sound as if he were in his own home.
Peace. Forward. March. Halt. Ever. Peace. Away. Rest.
As a traitor to the French Foreign Legion for dereliction of duty and cowardice under fire, the prisoner is hereby sentenced to death before a firing squad of his former comrades in arms. A last cigarette, monsieur?
Oh, yes, actually, I would. Thank you. If you have one with a charcoal micronite filter.
Detention! Up, two, up, two, up, two, up, two. Ready!
just this square green head. But you'll have to kill me first, she said.
Landlubbers, down with those pawn shop secretaries.
Lady, how did you get in here? And who's the moth-eaten old corpse in the white tie and tails?
That moth-eaten old corpse happens to be my father. And this noble soldier of France is my husband.
This noble soldier of France also happens to be out of the picture. I haven't had this much trouble since I worked with Liz and Dick.
Okay, Bojet, we're going to take you home now.
Yes, Herman. I found out that no one is suing you for $20,000. Your terrible ordeal is over. Well, come on, Herman. What are you standing there for?
Just a minute, dear. There are a few good drags left in the cigarette.
Come on, Herman.
So you see, Herman, when that woman hit you with her car, she thought she disfigured you.
Well, I just don't understand it. It was the same handsome face I've had all my life.
It's like I always say, you should never leave the house without shaving.
Hey, Pop, after you ran away, how many jobs did you have before you got that part acting in that desert picture?
Well, let's see. There was one I had in the steel mill, and then there was the circus, and, oh, yeah, then I had one as a night watchman in the county morgue.
Oh, did you run into anyone we know?
Well, in fact, the job didn't work out well at all. Every time I'd take a short nap, someone would put me in the icebox.
Well, Uncle Herman, the main thing is that you're home now, and we don't want you to ever run away again.
And Poopsie, to remind you of your little adventure and to promote family harmony, look what I got for you.
I'll be darned. Oh, well, thank you very much, dear. But how is this going to promote family harmony?
Oh, well, dear, we're going to put it in the upstairs hallway. For a house with only one bathroom, it's practically a necessity.
To 9,000 volts.
Rectifier to 9,000.
Good. Now switch the oscillator from negative to positive.
Switch the oscillator. Grandpa?
Yes?
I don't mean to seem nosy, but what's the purpose of this machine?
Purpose of the... I'm going to take electricity out of the air and store it. We'll never have to pay another light bill. I'm going to try and attract the lightning right now.
Herman, I think you ought to take that toaster to the store and have it fixed right.
Now, Lily, dear, they don't call me Handy Herman for nothing. Oh, this toaster fixed and 3 shakes of a cat o' nine's tails.
Hey, Pop, we have a new English teacher at school, and I've got to write a composition. Would you help me?
Just as soon as I finish this toaster for your mother.
Now, I'm going to transfer the stored electricity in this machine and connect it to the house wires. Now, go back there and man the controls.
There we go. That'll do it.
What's the subject of your school composition, Eddie?
My parents, an average American family.
Fine, dear. When your father comes to, I'm sure he'll be able to help you with it.
Lily, I forget. Is it 2 or 3 tablespoons of vinegar you put into sour apple pie?
Better put 3, dear. We don't want it to be tasteless.
I thought Eddie'd be down here to lick the spoon.
No. He went right up to his room after school. He's really working on that composition.
I know. He's been asking all kinds of questions.
I think it'll be good. I bet when his teacher reads about this family, her eyes will really pop out. Our dodo bird roast is coming along fine. You know, they're getting very scarce on the market these days.
Isn't it wonderful we can cook our whole meal on our own electricity? Well, now, this is one invention of Grandpa's that really has worked.
Well, at least so far. I think a little cactus juice dressing will be fine for the salad. Oh, dear. I'd better tell Grandpa his electricity is off. Your stupid electricity machine isn't working. And we're trying to fix dinner.
Oh, Lily, please, I'm working on it. You'll have all the electricity you want in just a minute.
Well, he said he's fixing it. But I wish he'd waited a while before he wrote that nasty letter to the electric company.
Here we go! Oh, that Benjamin Franklin was a piker.
Oh, there we are. Everything's running again.
Grandpa. Well, I guess it's cold rhinoceros tongue sandwiches again tonight.
Hey, Mom, what happened?
Our dinner just flew out the window.
Oh, boy. I need exciting stuff like this for my composition. This family was beginning to sound awfully dull.
Oh, bury me not on the lone prairie where the coyotes howl
and the wind blows free.
In a narrow grave just 6 by 3. Oh, bury me not
on the lone prairie. It's nice nice to get together and sing those old fun songs.
Yeah, they just don't write them the way they used to.
Aunt Lily,
Yes, Marilyn?
Eddie has an announcement to make.
Oh, wonderful. I'll bet your new set of fangs just came in.
It's even neater than that. I finished my school composition.
Whoa!
Good.
Oh, and he's so proud of it. He wants to read it to us.
Good. Eddie, read the part about the first, because that's the best.
No, Eddie. Read the part I helped you with.
Tut, 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 family. Let's have none of these petty jealousies. Eddie will start with the beginning, which just so happens to be all about his wonderful father.
My Parents, An Average American Family by Edward Wolfgang Munster. I have the most wonderful family in the whole world, and we all live in a mansion on Mockingbird Lane. It is a neat place. All the grass is weeds and the trees is dead.
My, he does have a flair for the language.
Eddie, and don't forget to copy it off later in blood. Remember, neatness counts.
My father is the head of the house.
This is the good part.
My father is a handsome man about 9 feet tall, who has a green complexion and steel bolts in his neck. The stroke did not bring my father. He was made in Germany, in a laboratory. He was built by a Dr. Frankenstein, whose hobby was putting together do-it-yourself people kits.
Well, go ahead, Eddie. I want our principal, Mr. Bradley, to hear all of this.
My mother is over 400 years old, and right now she is alive. Although there were many times when she wasn't. My grandfather was born in Transylvania, where he was known as Count Dracula. He did nothing but night work, and always got home by sunrise to flake out in his marble bed. I have a pet, Spot, who breathes fire and smoke, and eats manhole covers, telephone poles, and whatever happens to wander into the neighborhood. I also have a girl cousin, Marilyn. She is not pretty like the rest of us, and her boyfriends always run off screaming after their first visit. Signed, Edward Munster. Boy genius. My father made me put that in.
Well, Edward, that's quite a composition. And thank you very much for staying after school and reading it for me. Oh, we'll let you know what your grade is later on. Hmm?
Does that mean I can cut out?
Cut out? Oh, yes, Eddie dismissed.
Good night, sir. Good night, Miss Thompson.
Good night, Eddie.
Miss Thompson, this is the most astounding composition I have heard in all of my years with the school system.
Yes, I thought it was a trifle unusual, Mr. Bradley.
Well, you were absolutely right in bringing this to my attention. Of course, we've always considered Eddie to be a little different ever since the day he first enrolled. In fact, I believe he is the only child in the entire 5th grade with pointed ears.
Why would he make up such wild exaggerations as this?
Oh, these problems usually start in the home. You know, if a child is unhappy or has an underprivileged home life, he's very liable to compensate by creating fantasies. You know, how wealthy his family is, what a great athlete his father is, stories like that.
Well, we just can't let Eddie go on like this.
Oh, you're right. You know, I think the way to get to the bottom of this is pay a little visit to the Munster family.
And you want me to call on him?
Well, inasmuch as you are a rather new teacher, Miss Thompson, I'll tell you what. I shall go along with you. Then, in case anything unusual does happen, with my experience, it won't faze me, believe me. 9 feet tall, with a green complexion. You know, I will bet in reality that Mr. Munster is a short, unobtrusive little man who is afraid of his own shadow. But you know, this is very strange.
What?
This is written with the reddest red ink I think I have ever seen.
And if convenient, our principal, Mr. Bradley, and I would like to stop around after school to discuss Eddie and his composition. Sincerely, Miss Thompson.
Boy, a note from the teacher. You really made a big hit with that composition.
I'll bet you really made him sit up and take notice.
I'll say, when I read my composition to the class, all the kids started laughing and yelling and screaming and stamping their feet. A couple of them even doubled up so bad they had to be carried out of the room.
Strange the way jealousy affects some people.
Well, what did your teacher say, Eddie?
I guess it got her, too. She turned a little blue and choked a little, but when she got her voice back, she dismissed the class and had me read it to the principal.
Well, there's no doubt about it, kid. Your composition was a literary triumph.
You know what, Eddie? I'm going to make a point of leaving the parlor early today. I'll let Clyde handle my customers. I'm sure they won't complain.
I'll be home too, Eddie. I just love to meet your teacher.
Sure, Marilyn. I told her about you and my composition, so she'd be prepared.
I'll make some black sulfur tea and bake some coffin crullers and make some spider cookies and bat biscuits.
That's it, Lily. Lay out the festive board.
Would you guys do me a favor when the teacher and Mr. Bradley come?
Oh, of course, Eddie. What is it?
Well, try not to embarrass me in front of them.
Him embarrass you? How could we embarrass you?
Well, for one thing, Mom, don't tell them I'm your little baby and mushy stuff like that. And Grandpa, don't boast about how I have royal blood in my veins. I want to sound like one of the guys.
Don't you worry about us, Eddie.
And Pop, don't slap the teacher on the back and tell her any of your corny jokes.
Is it all right if I tell him the one about the sailor and the mermaid?
You tell him that one and I'll run away from home.
You just don't want me to sit there and look stupid, do you?
That'd be fine, Pop.
Don't you worry, Eddie. We promise that we'll be the soul of propriety and decorum. Oh, and by the way, Grandpa, if you're working down in the dungeon while we're having tea, please try not to blow up the house.
If that is important to you, I'll make every effort.
I'm putting on the tea now, Aunt Lily, okay?
Oh, yes, thank you, Marilyn. I'm just doing a little last-minute dusting. Dearie me, the vacuum cleaner's working backwards now. Go and tell Grandpa.
Grandpa, the vacuum cleaner's running backwards.
Sorry, I turned the wrong knob.
That's better.
Hey, Mom, they'll be here any minute now. How do I look?
Oh, just fine, Eddie. Oh, did you wash up?
Sure. I brushed my fangs and washed behind my points.
You aren't a little nervous, are you?
No. But are you sure Pop won't tell any of his jokes?
I'm sure he won't.
Good, because he's got a zinger that'd get me thrown right out of school.
Eddie, you put the vacuum cleaner away for me, and then be sure to listen for the door. I'm going into the kitchen and see to it that the cheese dip doesn't crawl out of the dish.
My. Well, it's rather run down, isn't it?
Yeah. Just bears out my theory about an underprivileged childhood.
What was that big bird back in the yard?
That was a Neophron percnopterus. That is an Egyptian vulture.
What would he be doing here?
Well, let's just hope that he has a bad sense of direction. Miss Thompson, now, this is liable to turn out to be a rather unusual visit. So whatever we hear or see in there, we must be very careful not to hurt the Munsters' feelings.
I'll get it. Oh, hello there, Edward.
May we come in?
Oh, sure. This is my cousin Marilyn. I told you about her in my composition.
Oh, yeah.
I guess you see what I mean.
I'm very happy to meet you.
How do you do?
Oh, won't you come into the living room?
We're gonna have eats.
The niece is very charming. But have you ever seen such a house?
Perhaps their cleaning woman is ill.
I'll go get Aunt Lily. Won't you sit down?
It's okay. Everything was just dusted.
Mr. Bradley, over there. Isn't that an electric chair?
Well, it could be the way the shadows are falling in. It could be some of that pop art, too. Perhaps they're rather bohemian in their taste.
Here we are. Mr. Eddie's mother.
Oh, how do you do? I'm Mr. Bradley, and this is Eddie's teacher, Miss Thompson.
Won't you sit down?
Thank you.
Well, now, I guess you want to talk about my little baby here.
Oh, Mom, you promised.
Oh, I'm sorry, Eddie. He's such a sensitive child. Eddie, Spot's in the kitchen. Why don't you go and take him out in the yard and help him bury someone?
I get it. You want to talk about me. See you, Miss Thompson. See you, Mr. Bradley.
Oh, yes, thanks.
Thank you.
Come on, Spot. Let's go.
Was that Spot?
Oh, yes, you'll have to excuse him. He has a little bit of laryngitis.
Have some cookies?
Oh, yes. No, I don't think I'm as hungry as I thought.
Eddie's grandfather is quite busy, but I asked him to pop his head up and say hello.
Oh, good. That'll be nice.
Marilyn?
Now, Grandpa.
Pleased to meet you.
He's really very busy. We make our own electricity, you know.
It's very nice.
Now, I understand you were very impressed with Eddie's composition.
Oh, yes, we were, weren't we, Miss Thompson? Impressed with Eddie's composition?
Yes.
Is something bothering you, Miss Thompson?
Well, yes, I could have sworn I saw something staring at me from that clock.
Oh, that's just our Raven. He's such a busybody. But you can talk in front of him. He doesn't gossip.
No, Mrs. Munster, getting back to Eddie's composition, you know, there is one item that I do believe needs some clarification.
Oh? I thought it was all quite clear.
It was Eddie's description of his father. I mean, 9 feet tall, green complexion, and steel bolts in his neck.
Oh, that. Well, you see, many years ago...
Hello, everybody.
Oh, there's Herman now.
Now I'll throw the high voltage crossover.
Oh, isn't that annoying? Grandpa's blown another fuse. Herman? Herman, I'd like you to meet Miss Thompson over there and Mr. Bradley over there.
Oh, glad to meet you. Here, let me shake your hand.
Yes,
What happened?
Something big and hairy just bit me on the wrist.
I told you to trim your fingernails.
Get Grandpa to turn on the lights. Grandpa, we're in the dark up here.
Keep your shroud on. I'll have the lights on in a minute.
Never mind about us. We have to be leaving right away.
Yes, we can discuss this anytime.
Yes.
Oh, don't run. I'll go over and get the candles off Grandpa's slab.
That's a good idea, Herman.
No, never mind. We can find our way out. I'm sure. This way.
Oh, isn't that a shame? And we were having such a nice little visit.
Just stick with me, Miss Thompson. You know, that door must be along here someplace.
Should we really run like this?
Now listen, if Munster looks anything like he sounds, I just don't want to be here when the lights come on. That's
Well, don't just stand there, Herman. Let's go out and show them to the door.
Yes, dear.
Mr. Bradley, we're in a car.
Oh, good heavens, we are.
Oh, there you are. Before you go, I want you to really meet my husband.
At last we meet, face to face.
Don't faint until we get outside. It's been awfully nice knowing you.
Well, I certainly enjoyed our visit. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Goodbye.
My, what lovely people.
But all the time they were here, they just seemed so ill at ease.
Well, that's very understandable, Marilyn. You see, on a school teacher's salary, they don't very often get to ritzy joints like this.
You're right. You're absolutely right. Oh, by the way, Eddie, we never really did get acquainted with your teacher the other day. Did you extend her our invitation to come to dinner some night?
Yeah. Every time I ask, she turns white and changes the subject.
Well, son, I guess teachers work pretty hard. They're under quite a strain. They don't get too much time for social life.
Where's Grandpa this morning?
Oh, he's down in the lab. He gave up trying to make electricity. Now he's working on a water supply system so that we don't have any more water bills.
Hey, that sounds neat.
Yeah, but knowing your rotten old grandfather, he'll probably drown himself before he perfects it.
Now, I'll drop in my instant water pill and we'll have free water all over the house.
If this invention works, it'll be his greatest.
Hey, nothing comes out.
Just as I thought. Another failure.
Aren't you going to do something?
Aren't I going to do something? I certainly am. I'm going to sit down and finish my breakfast.